Avalanches cause more deaths in Colorado than any other state. On average, about 5 to 6 people die every year, according to the Colorado Avalanche Information Center. Last season, there was just one death in February. Meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen spent some time learning about that man from his best friend, who was with him the day he died.
I say yes, I feel wonderful tonight.
To the people of Steamboat Springs, Jesse Christensen wasn't just a friend, he was a performer.
Wonderful, because I see the love.
Someone who brought joy into their lives.
He was just the most truly love-sharing person you could ever imagine.
To Sean Searle, Jesse was a best friend who loved adventure and Colorado's mountains. On Valentine's Day, they were together in the backcountry. They were on snow bikes, dirt bikes converted into snowmobiles, riding in the flat tops not far from Jesse's home. It was a warm, sunny day, and then the snow started to move.
But I looked up, and as far as I could see up the mountain, the entire mountain was moving. Immediately, it felt like I was just thrown into a Class 4 raging river.
Sean's airbag failed to inflate. He felt himself sinking into a river of snow. He was losing his breath, and all he could do was react as if he was in the water.
So I just started swimming as hard as I could, backstroking and dolphin kicking.
He turned his body into the flow of the snow, pointed uphill, and literally swam to the top of a roaring avalanche.
There is no question in my mind. I am 100% certain I would be 10 feet under the snow and dead if I did not swim out.
When the slide stopped, he was alive, breathing, and waist deep in the snow. His thoughts immediately turned to Jesse.
And that is knowing that the next 4 or 5 minutes of my decision-making and actions would be the difference on whether or not another person lived or died. It's a terrible feeling.
He frantically searched for his friend, but he had no idea where to start. The slide was massive, and Sean wasn't sure where Jesse was when the avalanche was triggered. They were not expecting danger.
What got us that day was that wasn't a steep mountain. It didn't look scary, dicey at all. It didn't present itself as any kind of danger.
They had underestimated the power of the mountain and the snow. Sean had never felt so alone.
And it's the most horrific experience and feeling of loneliness that you can ever imagine, being on that mountain, looking for your best friend, only to come up short.
What was right became me.
Now Sean speaks for his best friend.
I think people need to plan for a worst-case scenario on all terrain.
His message, all the more meaningful when he considers what he lost.
You are the sun, I am the moon. You are the words, I am the tune.
He's left a big hole in a lot of our lives that we'll miss him.
Sean says he relives that day over and over in his head, and he wants everyone to remember his friend Jesse, and he hopes that someone watching this story can learn from the decisions they made that day. We have more details on mistakes made and lessons learned on our digital story on the 9 News app.